Good evening. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon in Trinidad and Tobago, of course, located in the Caribbean. My name is Curtis Jordan, and you are now viewing Big Indie Business, the podcast. And it is the very first episode that you're looking at. And tonight we have a very special guest coming in. Of course, she is an artist. And this podcast is all about artistry and the Caribbean artists, talking about, their challenges, their triumphs, what it takes to be an artist within the Caribbean region. And the goal is to really get the gems coming out of these conversations that new artists could be listening and grab these gems and apply it real quick, so they don't have to go through some of the difficulties that, artists have to go through on this journey. So tonight, help me welcome to the stage of Indie Business podcast, Samantha Johnson, known as SJ. Good evening, Samantha. So good to have you. So good to have you. How you doing?
I'm happy to be here, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much, Artiste Jordan, for inviting me.
I'm CJ. You can call me CJ when we're ready. We all be going on there. We going there. Yeah. So we're really happy to have you. And there are a lot of persons who would know you. They've known you for years, doing a lot of music within the space. But there are a whole bunch of people that are seeing this and knowing you or meeting you for the very first time. Could you share a little bit in a nutshell of who is Samantha Johnson, SJ?
SJ. All right. So the name SJ simply means Samantha Johnson. It's just the shorter, cuter, younger version of Samantha Johnson. It gives a nice swing on the artistry and the artist name. So, that's what this SJ is about. I didn't change my name. It is my name. Right. I hail from the beautiful island of Tobago. Big up yourself.
Sweet Tobago.
Sweet Tobago, from a village that names, and when I say village, I do not mean, because last time I told someone I am from a village, they were like, oh my gosh.
Nah. That can't be it.
And I was like, no, that is not what a village means. A village means a community, right? So I'm from the beautiful community of Rambo. It's approximately 5 minutes from the capital of Tobago, Scarborough. So I'm just giving you a little Tobago education.
Nice, we loving it.
I am a songwriter. Well, I should say an award-winning songwriter.
You better say it. This is Big Indie Business, This is Big Indie Business.
Right.
Celebrate what God has done in your life.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't like to. I really don't like when people ask who is Samantha Johnson, because sometimes you feel like you're just taking off yourself. But that's basically the gist. I have been singing gospel music since 2000. Well, since I was like about 19 years old, I have been singing gospel music. I have one album, one EP, and I'm currently working on some stuff. But in a nutshell, I'm just a humble human being who loves God and, by extension, people and music. Can't forget that.
Can't go wrong with that at all. No, we're going to be throwing the hard questions at you because, as I tell you, a lot of young artists, up-and-coming artists are watching this, and they are ready and they are passionate about the music space, and they're ready to participate within the industry. As one of the more recognized and female gospel artists on the forefront of what we do in this space, what are one of the greatest challenges you have encountered as you were growing into who you are today?
All right. So I know you mentioned that the young ones are listening, and they are passionate about entering into this gospel music industry or whatever artistry you may be aiming at. And passion plays a big role in producing the best quality that you want to do, but it doesn't necessarily maintain. It doesn't maintain you as an artist. One of my challenge was that I lacked mentorship. Mentorship in terms of representation from women in ministry. When I came on the scene, I cannot remember any music ministers except Nehelat Blackman, who would have seen me on a boat cruise and given me, well, she said she wants to work with me, she wants to help develop me and, send me out there, and I would have sung a lot of things with the All Girls Band. But in terms of like music ministry, the type of ministry that what I offer, right? Women who would have operated in that capacity, I never had the mentorship in terms of them coming and saying, well, this is a young one, let's train her, let's work with her, let's guide her. I think that was lacking. And I had a lot of guidance, encouragement, and leading from men, but I think I would have appreciated, and I think it would have been beneficial if I had like maybe a woman in ministry would have reached out to me and said, let's train this youngling and send her in the right direction. That was one of my challenges.
Right, and I'm glad they brought that to light, because there's so many people that are within this space saying, I have so much ideas, there's so many things that I want to do, I'm seeing what I want to do, but I have no idea about the path to get there, and I don't want to make you wrong, I don't want to make mistakes, I don't want to make a misstep. That's why mentorship is so important, and I always encourage artists to try their best to make some time for the younger ones, because it really goes a long way. It really, really goes a long way. So I'm glad that even in the midst of that, there was somebody or a few persons there that was able to, hold your hand and direct you in the right direction. Now I'm going to ask you a tough question, and it has to do with the balance. Like, how do you find the balance? Because guys, you're watching Samantha. She's SJ. She looks, easy going in terms of this, like nothing is happening, and she's on vacation, but she is a wife. She is a mother. She is
tell them a wife.
She's a worship. She's a wife. What? And she is also a worship leader at her church. She is working full time. Samantha, how do you find the balance? No, don't answer just yet. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, so think about it. Let's simmer down a little bit, and we will hear from you in a short, right? Deep desire to improve your vocal skills? Well, I have something very special for you. I have a free vocal masterclass that is coming up, designed to really take your voice to the next level. Regardless if you're a new singer or a seasoned singer, this is the event for you, and it is all online. Now, when you sign up for this masterclass, you're going to get access to the full webinar. You're going to be a part of the live Q&A section, as well as free resources to help you along your vocal journey. All you need to do is just click the button in this description and register, or you can go to www.curtisjordancoaching.com/vocal masterclass. See you on the inside. So tell us a bit about that balance that we are all seeking. How have you been managing with it? Because life is happening. Where are you with this balance? Share with us a little bit.
Well, initially when I started as a gospel music minister, I think the year I would have released Freedom, that was 2018. That's the same year I got married. And I didn't expect this song to do what it did, right? And I remember releasing the song like this week, and promoters started calling me that very same week, saying that they had an event that they wanted me to come and sing on, because I would have released it on the radio and it was playing on the radio stations. After that, it was bookings after bookings after bookings after bookings, singing down in the South, singing in the East, singing in the West, singing in the North.
Busy.
While being married, yeah. And I felt like I didn't really have a good understanding of how to balance being a wife and how to balance being an artist. And, something had to give. If you kept going and going and going, it's either you will give something 60% and something else 40%, And then there was the fact that I was also pursuing a degree. all right, and also being a full-time employee. So I felt like some some were getting 20, some were getting 10, some were getting 40, So I had to, it was a learning process for me in terms of how to intentionally select your time and practice good time management. Because I'm a person, I love to sleep. If you know me, I just love sleep. My husband is saying, you just get fed up of sleeping. I was like, no, I have to build up my serotonin, and that is how I build it up when I sleep, when I sleep, when I eat, So I had to learn to sleep less. I had to learn to structure my time effectively as an adult and not as someone living in my grandmother's home as I used to in Tobago. I had to learn to set boundaries for myself and my life. Sometimes it will mean, saying no, I can't make this or I can't do that. You don't have to give reasons for why you can't, but you just simply can't because you are taken up in so much duties, right? So, and lastly, self-care is important.
Oh yeah.
Self-care. Just slowing down, unwinding. It might be going to the beach. It might be reading a book. It might be just, giving yourself good mental health practice. It could be spiritual health, going to church, reading the Bible, spending time in prayer. Just segregating the busyness of life and just finding that solitude and peace through self-care and structuring your time. So that is how I strike a balance, and it's still a learning process because every year is something new. Now I'm doing my masters, and it's just different dimensions. I'm a leader in church, and just different things that you are treating with. But because I try not to stress myself about things in life. I try not to beat up myself.
Right.
Firstly, you have to know what expectations you have for yourself and start there. Also, you have to understand that your relationship with God and your priorities is about God and what expectations God have for you. Because if you allow man to pressure you, man, your life is going to be confused.
Yeah. That's it.
And you're going to feel as if you're not given all that you're supposed to do, and you're going to be unbalanced in that sense because you're unbalanced in your mindset.
Yeah, and that takes me to that point where you see mental health is not a conversation that is very common within the space. Sometimes we say we maybe need to pray it away, but you see mental health, it is affected by your sleep, it is affected by your eating habits, it is affected by what's on your mind and so much more. So that point what you made before about self-care, it's not just about shampooing your hair or taking care of your nails, but it's about taking care of your mind too, especially as an artist. We have so much on our plates. We really have to make sure that your mind is in a good space when you are serving in this capacity, serving your family, serving on work, serving in church, serving across the board. Wow. So I loving that. Now, recently you would have done a mashup of a track that was released by Showing Gardner. I would love to share that with the persons, and then you'll give us a little bit of your process as to how you would have gotten to that point, or how long it took, or what was the whole process, because it's a brilliant piece. And I wouldn't add any more. Let's get the persons to share a little bit, or to see a little clip of what you were working on when it comes to.
Something good gonna happen in this year.
Me believe it. Move out of me way, you know make sense. Dirty art, but you walk around with pretense. That's why me and watch you in a suspense. And me no say, when not have no good intent. Blessings I be align, me get what is mine, elevation time. I shine, me no care if them so I like lime. You can't stop my blessings to find me here. Oh yeah. It's a piece of cup in a fumble. Acting like Humpty Dumpty never tumble. In a starter with me words never fumble. Find me here. Oh yeah, blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah, it's happy find me.
Yes, blessings find me here. Wow.
Yes.
Now tell us the process about how did that take a day to write, a minute to write? You was freestyling. What was happening when you saw this piece and decided to jump on?
All right. So I have been on social media for quite a while, and I have recognized that there is this new sensation about, writing open verses. I'm doing
Right.
remixes on artist songs, and I never really, was prone to doing stuff like that or wanted to do things like that. But I remember telling my husband that, well, let me go back to going to work one morning, and it was playing on the radio station, his song Find Me Here, and I
Mhm.
was listening to it, and then he entered into the second verse, because how I listen to music, I listen real analytical, like as a writer. Right? I listen for certain things. And he went into the second verse, and I was like, hey, I think he was singing, tell him my name, it's all the blessings me claim it.
Blame.
The
Yeah.
price me I go. I said, well, hey, this thing has some dancehall elements in it. I said, what? So he's singing, and I started freestyling, driving on the rhythm. And then I told myself, I said, you know what? If Sherwin drop an open verse, them thing what it is
Yeah.
do on social
That
media,
was it.
jumping on, right? So let's say I say that today, God as my witness. Sherwin came and dropped an open verse the
And
same
that was it.
said day. And that was like confirmation. As soon as I went on social media and I see Sherwin said open verse, I went to him. I was like, Cheriel, I am jumping on this open verse. I do not like cameras and I do not like these things, but I'm going to do it. And I say, okay, well, you had to jump out looking proper. You can't jump out looking like no scrub. You had to jump.
This was a professional.
Yeah.
This was top tier. This was a
Yeah,
top
and
tier.
I mean, Curtis, like everything that I wanted for that open verse, it's happened. Like I wanted to braid my hair, but if you know me, I don't like to plait my hair because it is pull. I went by the makeup artist to do the makeup for that day, and she told me she had a braids wig. That,
Well, we would have never know. We would
well,
have
now you
never
know.
known.
Now it busting inside the
Now
business.
it was
Big inside the business. This is the name of the show,
big
right?
in the business right
Big
here.
in the business and busting and big in the business. That was a wig. But
No,
the thing about it is like that whole thing was God worked out everything in terms of the writing. I wrote that in like 50 minutes. You know?
wow.
I wrote about 3 different open verses on that. And then I was like, I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah. I'm gonna go with this one.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. It fit the way it's supposed to fit, and it really impacted. It took the song to a whole different dimension. So
Wow.
I'm glad for showing for bringing such an offering and allowing persons to be a part of it. Now
Yeah.
we are wrapping up. We have about a minute or so. But there is a new single that you just released. It's playing in the background, and we're loving it. And we're loving it. I'll play a little piece of it at the ending. But tell us a little bit about what we could expect from you going forward.
You can expect more music.
That's it. That is it. We've been waiting to hear
Yeah.
that. We've been waiting
Just
for more music, and
wow.
that's what.
I just, I have been on sabbatical rest for about 3 years. In COVID, I went through a really, really hard time,
Oh,
and I really needed to take a break from the music scene.
right.
And I took a break, spent some time with my family. I was pregnant, made Samara. Love you,
Right,
Samara.
right, right.
right? And I came back out on the music scene. This year? This
Let's
late
see.
last year?
Never left.
Yeah.
She came
Yeah.
back like she never left. Guys. Guys.
Yeah. And I'm just getting songs after songs after songs after songs. Yeah.
Well, we are looking forward to so much more from you. Thank you so much for being with us, coming and chilling with us here on a Monday evening, right here on Big Indie Business. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, your journey. I know it's going to add a lot of encouragement to, and it brought a lot of insight to persons viewing. And we are just going to be looking on and cheering you on from the sidelines, saying, Samantha Johnson, SJ, we got you. We supporting you right here on Big Indie Business. Thanks so much again. You want to give any shout outs before we head out?
Well, yeah, definitely. I must shout out my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I just thank him for, just taking a small girl from Tobago, from humble beginnings, and, just allowing God to elevate me in the different realms. I just truly, appreciate the blessings and the relationship that I share with God. I want to shout out my husband, Jariel Johnson, for supporting me musically and every other thing that I put my hands to do. My daughter, Samara, who loves the Lord. She loves music. She loves to dance.
Wow.
So I just want to shout out even the people like yourself, Curtis, the industry, the DJs, my fellow colleagues, and just people who continue to support the ministry in prayer and genuine support.
Yeah.
I just want those who are listening, if you have a dream and you have goals that you are pursuing, I just want to encourage you, don't give up. Continue to trust God. Continue to wait upon him and his perfect timing. Continue to believe that he's going to do for you what no man can do for you. So with that being said, I just want to say, may God richly bless you. And I pray that I will continue to be a part of this great and diverse music industry that continues to bless you all. So blessings, and thank you, Curtis, for having me as your first guest. I don't like interviews, but it went nice.
You went all out. You did it. You did it. And we really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Samantha Johnson, known as SJ, right here in the Caribbean gospel music space. We are so happy to have as our first guest. You are listening to and viewing Big Indie Business, the podcast, right here on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Blessings, everyone. Until next week, Monday, we're going to be right here with a brand new guest. Don't miss it. Make sure to like and subscribe this video right now. See you guys soon right here on Big Indie Business. Blessings, guys.
They even try to test me, but they can never hurt me. Even though I may walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no one. Me not gonna fear no evil one. Say I'm so covered under his feathers. Never leave me lonely. Always beside me, even in the midst of tragedy, adversity, anxiety. He keeps me steady. Olu never fail me. Usheba ba yeah. And everything